Alright, the elephant in the room is that that's not TERRORSAUR. Let me explain. So yes, this is an old versus new on TERRORSAUR. That is the original Beast Wars TERRORSAUR figure mold. But the thing is, I don't have the actual vintage TERRORSAUR. This was released in Age of Extinction. This is Strafe from Age of Extinction. What they did, they actually repainted like Beast Wars, and I think they repainted like Energon Grimlock for like these Walmart exclusive packs. Yeah, they repainted Beast Wars TERRORSAUR into Strafe. So ever since I've had that figure, I have affectionately called him Terror Strafe. And we will call him Terror Strafe for the rest of the video, because damn it, that's what I want to do. But yes, this is an old versus new on TERRORSAUR. One of my favorite Beast Wars Season 1 characters. I'm very, very happy I finally have a genuine... I'm very, very happy I have a genuinely really nice, high-quality figure of TERRORSAUR. This is a character that definitely got the short end of the stick when it came to, later seasons in the show. It's kind of funny. People nowadays would be so mad, but back then it was just like, yeah, at the end of Season 1, him and Scorponok just fell into lava and died, and no one talked about them ever again. But come on, man, he was like the Starscream of Beast Wars. He just had that vibe about him. I mean, look at his face. You can already tell he's such an awesome character. And I'm very happy, since I am going all out on getting Beast Wars characters in, like, the Kingdom line. I'm very happy that they got around to TERRORSAUR. Is he perfect? In my opinion, I don't really have much of an issue with him. But I'll definitely talk about the pros and cons of what they did with that figure. But yeah, man, let's take a look at Terror Strafe real quick. So this is what was called a Beast Wars basic figure, which obviously you can see it's pretty basic. These are kind of akin to like the Transformers animated, what were they called? Not alternators. They were called, what were they called? They were called activators. There we go. Beast Wars Basics were basically like Transformers animated activators, where they kind of did a one-step change, but they were still a fully articulated figure with like ball joints and everything. This is definitely no exception. As you can see, there's definitely a size difference between a Beast Wars Basic and a modern Deluxe class. This is definitely a very Deluxe-worthy figure. Like, you can see, he's pretty beefy. He's got a lot going on. I would say this nowadays is kind of more akin to what we see with like Commander class, but it's just a little bit more than that. It's a really cool figure. It's one I really enjoy having. I'm definitely, I'm happy I have it as Terror Strafe instead of, just Strafe. And not just Strafe, just a TERRORSAUR. That's going to happen. Oh my gosh, these guys don't like standing. They do not. They're very back heavy. Definitely this one is very back heavy, but this guy, he's just... He's got these loose ball joints at the ankles there, because he is all ball joints. Let's just go over his articulation. He's got a ball joint at the head, allows you to swivel it. Ball joints at the shoulders and the elbows. He has a hinge at the wrist, more so for transformation, but you can kind of use it for, if you want to pew, pew, pew. Nothing at the waist, but he does have ball joints at the hips, ball joints at the knees, and ball joints. Actually, not ball joints at the ankles, hinges at the ankles. I thought they were ball joints. But yeah, the hinge is pretty loose. Kind of makes him easy to fall. But yeah, let's take a closer look at a Terror Strafe here. I'm not going to talk about the deco too much. Me personally, I love the black and blue. It is my favorite color combination, so obviously I was very drawn to this figure when it was first released. It just has a pretty cool look to it. But this guy's actually got numerous repaints. Of course, there's the original TERRORSAUR, and then I think did they make it into like Laserbeak or something? I'll need to look into that. But yeah, he's had a few different repaints. It's a really nice mold, though. I really like the head sculpt. It's a really nice little head sculpt there. It doesn't really look how he did in the animation. We'll take a look at that with the Kingdom one. But still, it's a nice little figure, dude. I really like it. You see the articulation? You see what it's all about? There's not too much to him. He's basic. After all, he is a Beast Wars basic. So... this is the new Kingdom TERRORSAUR. Unfortunately released as some sort of golden disc, like exclusive to Amazon instead of just being at retail. This should have been a retail release, not that, what's he even called? Shadow Panther. Why'd they release Shadow Panther retail instead of this guy? Because I think more collectors need to have themselves some TERRORSAUR in their lives. Because this guy is absolutely awesome. So, like I said, he is a part of the Golden Disc collection. So he actually did come with the Golden Disc. Not really gold as much as it is kind of bronze in this version. It's a reuse of the golden disc that we saw with the Ark. I really have no problem with that. I think that's awesome that more collectors, like say if you didn't want to spend $160 on the giant arc, but you still really wanted a golden disc, there you go. If you don't know the story behind this, this is actually something that's in real life. This is a real, like, not in fiction. This is a real, the Sounds of Earth, like, disc that was sent out by, you know, America. Was it America or, like, the Earth? Probably America, because America is the world, right? Sent out by humanity. Just as kind of like a, oh yeah, if, you know, aliens see this, this is like kind of what Earth's all about. And they integrated it into Beast Wars. That was super cool. But this figure is also super cool. His accessories, I didn't even talk about his accessory. He's got a little gun. He's got a little gun, and it can do that. Because it can store in the alternate mode. Yeah, that's his gun. But he has a more modern version of that gun, which looks very cool. Definitely like that. It's really nice. And also these little spikes on the sides of the arms are separate pieces. Because this guy actually is a remold of Airazor. Not a lot of people are a fan of that. A lot of people think that that is not a good thing, that TERRORSAUR should have had his own mold. But me personally, I don't really see them doing this character like this any other way. I don't see how this figure would have worked any other way. I think this is for the limitations of being a physical TERRORSAUR toy. Because if you didn't know, in the animation, his wings like shrink and like things just kind of vanish into him. For being a physical toy of TERRORSAUR, I think this is perfectly fine. I really have no real complaint about it. But I definitely know that, you know, being what it is, it's not going to be a perfect figure. So he does have, like I said, a very nice show-accurate head sculpt. He's got a smile, man. Look at that smirk. That is awesome looking. It really just shows so much about the character of TERRORSAUR. I wish more Transformers had emotion in their face sculpts. Some do, most don't. But I really appreciate when they do. And I like pointing it out, because Hasbro, you need to keep doing that. That's really fun. Except don't make them scream like you did with, like, like Earthrise Skywarp. We don't need him screaming like that, but a little smirk here and there is really cool. He does have nice little black patterning there. He's got really nice silver paint. I do think he should have more silver on him. His shoulders and his thighs should be more silver. But honestly, it's not that big of a deal. It's not something like, oh my gosh, it's not 100 trillion% accurate to the cartoon. It's the worst toy ever. Man, I can't I can't be one of those fans, but I am still going to point it out. You can see the back is basically the entire beast mode, but as I mentioned, the design of this character is basically, you know, the beast shrinks into the robot, and all that's really there is the chest and a little bit of wings sticking off of his arms. It's not a very convincing thing to get into a physical toy, so I think this is perfectly fine. His articulation, he does have a hinge up and down at the neck if you want to count that. But he does have a ball joint that really mostly just gives you a swivel and a little bit of up and down. Universal joints at the shoulders. You can basically see what's going on here. He does, like his original figure, hilariously, have a hinge right there at the wrist. He does have a waist, which is really nice. You do have to kind of unlock it by flipping... Oop, I untabbed him a little bit. By flipping this panel up, you have to kind of unlock it. But you definitely do get some good waist articulation. Honestly, it's kind of better having that panel flipped up. Kind of frees up, you know, that, and also just doesn't make too much of a difference. You know, you can just leave that flipped up. So you do have a waist rotation. You have universal there. He's got a very nice knee bend and a thigh swivel. He also has a kind of chicken leg motion there, but that's for transformation, and he's got ball joints at the feet. So you have really nice figure, dude. I really like it. I really think it's nice. You also have motion in the wings. If you want the wings to kind of spread out, I'll go over that more in the actual beast mode. But yeah, man, I really do like this TERRORSAUR. It's nice. What else can I say? It's just a really nice figure for what it is. So let's get on to transformation of these guys. So Terror Strafe here is pretty simple. I actually forget where the where the gun stores. It's kind of funny. I was messing with him before I filmed this, and I'm like, I don't remember where that goes. We'll figure it out. We'll try to figure it out. So basically, because he is such a basic figure, we'll flip the feet. We'll flip the hands and tab the... it doesn't really tab as much as it kind of rests the elbows into the wings right there. And basically what you do, you take his back kibble, and you flip it like that, tab it in, and then tab in his legs, and voila, we're done. There he is. It's pretty basic. But yeah, here's his dino mode. I'm not gonna dare say what kind of dinosaur it's supposed to be, because I don't know if it's supposed to be a pterodactyl or another pterodon, velocodon, freaking fly raptor. I don't know dinosaurs, dude. That's that. There's Terror Strafe. Now let's transform TERRORSAUR. Let's do it. So you do have to take his gun off, but you do not have to take those off, which is real nice. This transformation is a little more involved, obviously, because it is a newer figure. But we'll get those wings fully spread out. You can see all these little hinges and things, very similar to AirRaiser in that way. The torso untabs and kind of hinges up, and then the head flips back. And then it's kind of funny though, if you wanna leave it like this, you can. If you want to have a Gur dino instead of a Gur walk, you can do that. That's pretty awful. You can see though, basically the dino mode's on his back and the robot mode's a separate thing. It's probably one of those figures where if you want to try to cut it and have two different, have the dino and the robot separate, you probably could. But let us finish transforming him. So then the arms, you do that little flippy right there. There's like an empty cavity on the side where the arms tab in. So that's pretty rad. You know, just a little cavity right there. He is definitely bulky. He's a pretty bulky boy. And then his thighs, they've got a little hole right there, a peg right there. Get those tabbed in. And then his shins will basically be the bird mode legs. Yes, I just called it a bird. Weren't dinosaurs basically birds anyway? I mean, come on, they were. Get his legs a little bent, flip his feet, and there we go. Get that tabbed back in again because it came undone for some reason. What's going on? Would help if I had his head actually straight in there. I feel like I feel like that should go down a little bit more, but it doesn't. But it's not the end of the world. You know me. I'm not a complainer. I'm not gonna be a whiny little brat about it. And get those wings a little more straight and tabbed in there. But yeah, there we go. Here's the Kingdom version of TERRORSAUR. And I don't really have much of a complaint. I mean, he's obviously very big and beefy. But honestly, I think these figures show, do you want a beefier dino, or do you want one with just legs? And, like, technically, like, you can see the arms are still just dangling there. And it's got, like, the feet right by the neck. So neither of them are perfect. You can see, though, he does actually have a cartoon-accurate head, which is really cool. He always had this dorky-looking head with, like, teeth. He had teeth in the beak, which was pretty funny. Just something about how it looks. It looks a little goofier on this one than it did on this one. But you can see this one doesn't really have a beak as much as it has, like... It's sculpted like it's still just, you know, skin and everything, but it's colored like it's a bird beak. So it always looked kind of funny on TERRORSAUR, not really as much on on the original. But yeah, you can see he's actually got some head articulation, which is pretty nice. And those wings, you can hinge them, and you also have the ability to do a flap if you want. But like I said, be warned, there are some dangers to moving it. Like that peg is very easy to just pop off. And these hinges, there's a lot of hinges, as you can see. So I would definitely proceed with caution. Don't like go crazy bending his wings because they might break. Does he have weapon storage? Dude, who cares? Who cares? He does have a little tab on the side though, so maybe you could like slot it in. Is there somewhere to slot it in? Not maybe right there. Nope. Nope. What are those slots even for though? Maybe, oh yeah, maybe on the, yeah, there we go. Is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Yep, there we go. Figured it out. It's it's like, who cares, dude? Who's gonna put it there? Unless you like are gonna have them specifically displayed just like this, where you don't even see the gun. Like, but then again, who's gonna display them in this mode? Really, who's gonna do that? So there we go. There is our old versus new on TERRORSAUR. We had Terror Strafe here to step in and be our replacement of an actual vintage TERRORSAUR, and I thank you greatly, good sir. Thank you guys so much for watching. Special shout out to the patrons at Patreon. Thank you all so much for the continued support. I always appreciate it. Alrighty guys, there we go. Hope you enjoyed. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.